Was it an email, a test, a Facebook notification, or just a random phantom vibration? Scenario 2, you looked at your phone a few minutes ago, but now you're standing in line at the market and grab it to check for messages, even though your phone has not beeped, vibrated, or flashed. Scenario 3, you posted on Facebook a few minutes ago, and although you have not been notified of any responses, likes, or whatever, you tap the icon and scroll through the newest posts. You see that your best friend from high school just posted a photo of her trip to Maui, and you smile when you become the first to like it. And scenario 4, you're at dinner with a group of friends, and you have all agreed to put your phones on silent and stash them away. After the appetizer, you get up to go to the restroom, even though you don't really need to go, and upon opening the restroom door, you grab your phone and check the sports scores, your email, or whatever. Looking around, you notice that every other person in the restroom is doing the same. I do a lot of people watching and have noticed that we now spend more time with our faces staring at our phone than we spend with our faces looking at the world or looking directly at another person. End quote. Well, I think we can all relate to this experience. Even those in the crowd who don't have a smartphone have certainly observed this phenomenon going on in real life. So let's start with your impetus for writing about this phenomenon. Where did this start to pique your interest from the perspective of a practicing research psychologist?
Well, that's an interesting question because I've been actually looking at this issue since 1984. Before we had smartphones, before we had desktop computers, before we had laptop computers, before really computing was anything important, basically right at the beginnings of the internet. And we started studying it. It was called computer phobia, which actually is laughable now because obviously nobody is phobic about their computer or their phone. In fact, if anything, they're obsessed with it and can't keep their hands off of it. So over the years, we have modified the way we have looked at the world as the world changes. And the one thing that we have noticed in our lab for the last, I'd say, decade, plus or minus a year or two, is that we have gradually and slowly become so obsessed that we literally do look like a Pavlov's dog. That when our phone buzzes, we immediately grab it. When we feel a tingling in our pocket, we immediately grab for our phone, even though our phone may not be there. And funny anecdote, for some reason 2 days ago, I felt that phantom buzz all day long. And I had my phone someplace else, and all day long I grabbed my pocket. And I know better than this. All day long I grabbed my pocket, no phone, nothing there. So part of what we have seen is that we have become somewhat what I would call obsessed with what's in this little box, and we can't keep our hands off of it. We did a research study recently where we put an app on students' phones, and these are not your typical college students. These are